So we've got this bed, it says winter border, that's what it's going to be. We started planting it with some cuttings of cornus and some willow that we took from Harlow Car, and the idea is it's supposed to have winter interest with the stems being bright colours, but as you can see here, the grass and the weeds have started to grow in to the bed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear that, I'm going to dig that out, I'm going to re-edge it, and then hopefully you'll be able to see these stems a bit better and they'll stand out, and the whole border should look better. So what I'm going to use is I've got myself some tools out here. I've got a half moon there, which you can see at the far side, and a fork and a trowel. So I'm going to go down this edge with the half moon and make a line and dig that out, and hopefully then we'll be able to see these a bit better.
I'm marking a nice clean edge to work to with the half moon. Then I'm going to start digging out the weeds, and there's three main reasons that you dig out the weeds. Number one, and the most important one, is that they compete with your plants for water, light and nutrients. Number two is that they don't look very nice in the garden. And number three is that they can harbour pests and diseases which can then spread to your plants.
So hopefully you saw on the time lapse there that I was trying to pick things out of the ground, and what I was doing there was I was trying to get all the roots out. So these are dandelion roots. This bed was left a long time before we came to it, and there's a lot of established perennial weeds, so things that come back every year like dandelions, brambles, not so many brambles in here but nettles, dandelions and thistles. And it's important that you dig all these out, because every little bit, so if we break that off, that would make a new plant. Make two new plants. So every little bit that you leave in the ground, because this has got a lot of stored energy in it, and it's adapted well to surviving, it's going to grow new plants. So it's important you try and get every bit of that out. You can't always do it, particularly when they're established like these. So what you hope is that over time, if you keep getting them quickly when they come back up, you'll just weaken them and eventually get rid of them. Sometimes you get a plant that's just so full of weeds and matted of weeds that the only thing you can do is dig it up and then weed it and replant it. So you can see this grass, and grasses are particularly bad for this because things can grow into the centre quite easily. And this one has got some grass in there, some couch grass growing in there, and it's got what looks like a bramble seedling, I think, possibly in there. So the only way to do it is to dig that up and start pulling them out by hand, and try and get all the roots out and then replant it. It's a good time of year to do it actually, because the soil's still moist, the plant's not going to be struggling for water, and it's not going to get too much shot from being dug up and replanted. In the case of this, you can probably split this into a couple of plants, which I might do, which is a case of just getting the trowel in between them or a fork and just splitting it up. So split it in half, and then we'll get multiple of these. And the beauty of that is that you can get, when you're trying to fill a big space, you can get more of an impact, because you want multiple plants of the same type rather than dots of one of this and one of that, and that gives you a better look, gives you a better overall look, as you can hopefully see with the grass. So if we can split some more up and put them in that gap, it'll give us all those plants for free. And when you're trying to fill a bed as big as this, it can be expensive, so the more plants you can get for free and you can propagate yourself, the better. The reason you want to leave this deep edge along the grass to the border is that for two reasons really. It looks good because it gives you a nice neat crisp edge, which hopefully you can see in the picture. I'm going to trim that grass back in a sec that's overgrowing. It's going to give you a nice neat edge, but also grass and turf lawn grass is very shallow rooted, and it spreads sideways, and because it's shallow rooted, the roots aren't going to go down any further than that, so it's not going to grow out into the bed. By leaving that big deep edge, it's not going to grow back out like it had done previously when we first started this. You should be able to see there how I've compacted the soil by walking on it when I've been weeding, and that's particularly a problem when it's wet like it is at this time of year. So I need to deal with that really, because compact soil is a bit of a problem. It means that it doesn't drain very well. It's not good for the soil life, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good in the bed. So I'm going to go over that with the fork, just lightly go over it with the fork and then rake it, and it'll leave a professional finish as well. It'll make it look better than that. It'll look like a professional job then when it's done.
So I'm just neatening the edge off there with some edging shears. At this point it's worth noting that there's a couple of problems really with cultivating the soil, is that you can bring weed seeds up to the surface and they'll germinate, and you can also damage the soil structure if you do it too much.